Hello, chess aficionados. This is August 2023. We are in the FIDE World Cup going on, and the long-awaited Magnus Carlsen versus Ivanchuk, who is from Ukraine, who was not allowed in the beginning to go to World FIDE Cup, but with letters signing by several members, including Magnus Carlsen, all the top dogs, as they say, in chess that were there, they were allowed him to come. And this is an interesting game. Let's look at it, how it went down. So, in the beginning, you see there was a slight advantage for Magnus. Ivanchuk then was kind of even Steven until I would say a move 22. And then like climbing Mount Everest, slowly went down, never went down from there. So, let's look at the move 22, even though it's considered inaccuracy, but still was good for Magnus because he was going up. And it was the Queen's Pawn game Zukertort variation. I have a video about Zukertort. Interesting life story there. Okay, so let's continue here. We start with d4, d5, knight to f3, e6. Notice interesting stuff here. We're opening up quite quickly right this area. While here we have many options. Let's see which one Magnus took. Okay, with the Queen's Gambit, obviously. Pawn game. And then, okay, then he goes out with the knight. I must say, if you notice how Magnus uses his queen, it is like Stockfish. It is a robotic, like he knows where to put his queen. Notice where he moves the queen. It's like basically it's a computer type move, engine move. But anyway, let's continue. He goes for a quick check. He blocks, and I think psychologically, I can tell Ivanchuk is nervous. He went out so fast, and look, he retreats. He retreats. Does he have a better plan? This is a loss in tempo, everybody. You do not do a loss in tempo against Magnus Carlsen. You do not do that. It basically shows fear. Like why would he do that and just move back? But anyway, that's loss in tempo. Alright, so now he has a fianchetto here. Magnus rarely does have loss in tempo unless it's something that he's sacrificing himself. You do not lose tempo with Magnus Carlsen. Anyway, so let's continue. Okay, there's tension building up. Magnus takes out the queen. Ivanchuk continues development. It makes me wonder, Lucy, that the bishop is out, but it's not attacking anybody really. So Ivanchuk decides to castle. Now we're doing with Harry the H-pawn. Always Harry the H-pawn. Interesting. Harry the H-pawn. Building more pressure there. You can feel like a clobber, like a gavel and a judge's gavel, like this pawn, this H-pawn. All right, so now what are we going to do? What does Ivanchuk choose to do? He chooses to relieve some pressure in the center. It's very constipated there in the middle. Okay, so he brings out the queen. Okay, Magnus Carlsen with white. All right, then we have the knight attacking this bishop. What will Magnus do? He just moves up. He does not care about this bishop. He has a different plan, it seems. He doesn't care about this black bishop being taken. So instead of taking with that, he tries to eventually tries to kick him out, but he decides to take. Okay, and that makes the queen move. Okay, the queen is now moved. Alrighty, so now we continue attacking in the center, attacking this knight. He does not want this knight attacked. Interesting move with the queen. Do you notice? Let's go back. Well, this was not the perfect engine move, but later on it will be. You'll see. Okay, so he just moves back. Continuing on this diagonal, see? Alright, we're still keeping tension here in the middle. Like Wild Wild West. Who will strike first? Ivanchuk goes for the middle. Magnus decides to take this time to think and castle, so he decides to castle. And then he takes. We got open field. We've got queens almost facing each other. What's next? We jump up with the knight. Magnus covers with the rook. Now we have Ivanchuk's definitely scared. He's just going. The knight is dim under him. He doesn't. I don't feel like he has the power to just attack. He went out too fast with that bishop. That was way too fast and move back. That's a key psychological factor for me, at least. What is going on? There is a fear factor playing Magnus here. Okay, now we go out. Now we go with the bishop again. It looks like Ivanchuk likes striking his bishop, but it's not as good as with knights. And Magnus is good with all the pieces. With all the pieces. That's why he's made it to be a world champion 5 times. All right, we move back with the bishop. There's a plan. He's got a plan. Attacking the queen. We move out of the way. So now he's trying to divert attention towards. It's almost like take my pawn, take my pawn. But if the pawn's taking the rook, will have a freebie. Will have a free lift. So he doesn't want to do that. So he moves back. So now he continues attacking. See, he's diverting attention. He's like the boss in the tango. You know, when you tango, the man leads the woman. I'm not saying nobody's a woman in the game, but I'm trying to give you the example of who's leading the game here. So now he's distracting to have more attention on this side, on the where the a pawn has moved, instead of maybe attacking and doing something else on the queen side. I mean, and on the king side, where the kings are. Okay, now we do it, okay? And we take. So let's see what else. Okay, he's trying to stop this advanced pawn here. Doesn't matter, he has a plan. He goes up with the rook. He's trying to align. Look, this is Fearless Magnus again. This pawn is protected by this knight. He has a really good use of the knight and a pawn help there. Very, very good handle on supporting pieces, especially the knight. Especially the knight. All right, me move out with this knight. And this is, look, engine move. Queen goes out. Precisely to b3. Okay, we move with the knight there. It seems the knights are weak. They're not coordinated. They're really not doing anything for Ivanchuk. He's kind of losing time and losing like steam here. Alrighty. So finally he's trying to get those knights out. Is it too little too late? Interesting move. Moving back with his bishop here. Alright, so a little bit of trying something. So now we move over with more protection for this pawn. Okay, so he's rearranging the knight. No, was this a book move? Yes, this was a engine move for this queen. Look at that. Look at the plan. Do you see how he had this plan along? He is aligning. He is aligning this queen and this bishop. Have you seen now the reason for the madness here? Excuse me, the reason for the Magnus move, where he moved this bishop. So I'm thinking, what's going on? Why is he pushing? Well, he prepared it. He was preparing it for the queen to move back. Now we have a double whammy. Look at this. Look at that. Okay, so what's next? How will Ivanchuk stop this? Okay, by moving out. No matter, he just moves this other way. This looks like a pattern he's seen before. Magnus is, has a very good memory. And then the creativity part. Those two things together have made him a world champion. Of course, being fearless. Alright, he's moving in with the knight. Notice how this carried h-pawn has prepared for this knight move to be protected. He was here and here. The h-pawn had moved a long time ago in preparation for the right moment. You have to do this in the right moment, the right timing. He's now decided this is the right timing to move in with the knight. And now we are 0.1 ahead with white. Fearless with this pawn. And notice how this didn't work out. So now I know if this bishop comes here, this pawn wants to move up, it will be protected. Isn't that genius? That's genius. That's a genius right there. Okay, he moves out, trying to kick that knight out. No matter, he's now maneuvering this bishop. Is very flexible, this white bishop for Magnus. Okay, he's trying to again keep this powered couple at bay. So now he's moved back. It's getting a little more spicy, but look, it's 4.3 now for Magnus. This was a mistake. By the way, the rook move was a mistake for Ivanchuk. He's just lost it. He doesn't seem to have a plan here. He definitely seems to be scared. There's a fear factor here. Okay, now we're going in. The queen. All right, the rook is being attacked. He did take the knight. Takes. Takes. It's getting interesting here. And this is how it ended. It's way ahead. For Magnus Carlsen, it's just a matter of time before he does what he usually likes to do, be the king of the endgame. So this is how it was done. And Magnus Carlsen beat Ivanchuk in this game at the World Cup FIDE 2023. What do you think? What do you think? The psychological factor here was quite important, as usual. Thanks for watching. Au revoir.